Embrace your style to be marvelous. It's your time to be fabulous. Make that choice. You want the real happiness.
Hi again and welcome to Soulmary Real Talk. That's the only multicultural TV show in Switzerland. And today I have a special guest in my studio and I'm so excited to have her. Her name is Vera Mulyani and she is the woman, the great woman from the Mars. Vera, you just came from Los Angeles, you came to Switzerland for an exhibition. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Hi. I'm supposed to come from Mars, but yes, coming from Los Angeles. Still have a jet lag from Mars, but yeah, through Los Angeles.
Next time you're going to take me to the Mars, I hope so.
I love your hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because I have been having a theory about, you know, the best hair to have on Mars to protect our scalp and the skin of our head from the radiation is when it has a lot of curl and it protects, like it gives the radiation a little bit of latent effect toward the skin because of your volume of the hair.
Wow.
So you're already a Mars girl.
Oh my God, I'm a Mars girl. Thank you. Vera, really welcome to Switzerland. I hope you enjoy yourself. You enjoy the Swiss chocolate, the mountains, the cheese, and everything. Best. And you've been having a lot of fun. And I think you're having an exhibition right now with Photo Schweiz.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's one of my manifestation, I guess, of what I love to do, and that this is the land where people really appreciate art and just value of, you know, life, and I really enjoy that. So it's beautiful.
So welcome. So Vera, I mean, you are from Jakarta, and how was it for you to grow up there as a little child?
Yeah, isn't that shocking, the difference when I'm thinking about, you know, growing up in the late 80s in a third world countries where the river in town is completely pitch black mirror like this, and you could see the blue from the reflection of the sky only, but everything is, all the trash are floating, and as a little kid I had to walk along these many bad odor of the river, you know, people throw everything in the water. And then I'm here in Switzerland where you can jump in any lake basically because you could see the bottom of the lake, which is just amazing. So when I grew up there, it was very difficult. Yeah, it's
I mean, your parents used to collect like...
Yeah, so my parents were basically having a lot of people with them to go to the factory who made shampoo and soaps, butter, and when they have products that are not well produced, perfectly sellable in the market, my parents would collect them and sell it to the local poor people, basically. So it's like a center of recycling where I live at home. I felt like, you know, it's our living room is full of boxes and dirty produce, and during my school when there are kids having their birthdays, I was always embarrassed because other parents would have some money to give a gift, but we would always give the kids like a soap. And I was always embarrassed, but looking back, I was like, wow, how sweet, you know, that my parents were so, that's all they have, but they still gave offerings.
Yeah, but I think that's a very special thing, because I mean, for me, if I see like a soap is something nice, with the soap you can wash your body and get clean again. I mean, this is really a beautiful gift when you look back now.
Right.
You know, yes, because I mean, it's a soap. but it's something small, but actually in spirit, or I mean in the cleanness, have a very positive. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so I think that's
you
very
wash
beautiful.
to help
all
wash.
the dirt. Yeah, you wash all the dirt away.
Yeah, it's actually true, because as I said, you know, everything was like just cleanliness at the time in that area was such a luxury. If it's clean, then it's the luxury. So soap might have been actually a very valuable thing. I just, as a kid, didn't understand, right, why my parents didn't give them anything else but soaps.
So, but how the Indonesian culture affected you in your life?
Yeah, it's very. I think I've always been very detached to local culture somehow. So I grew up in Indonesia, but because I'm a girl, I've always been, you know, protected, and I have to stay at home. I didn't really have any social interaction with other neighbors' kids or something like that, except for my cousins and kids at school. So I never actually. Probably we watch TVs, but really the TV, it's all American culture, right? So I have always thought, you know, like, wow, that's what I need to do. Like, I have to speak English, and I have to learn how to look cool like that. But, you know, my parents were poor, so maybe there is no hope, and we're just gonna go to school and speak English and be doomed.
Yes, I mean it's like
sad,
actually, I mean like you start dreaming like with TV, seeing America from far away. So that's when you manifest it actually, like you called it into your life actually.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of creepy when we think about it, because like today during the pandemic, I'm sure everybody was sitting down in their home watching, you know, Netflix and all the movies. And I just knew actually when I was in New York and decided to learn filmmaking after graduated in architecture, I'll tell you more about it, that how important it was. It was such a powerful thing to do, to be able to tell a story and influence the mind of the audience about something beautiful. Or something really bad. That's why I never watch horror movies, for example, because I know whatever you see, your mind just absorbs it, even if you are not conscious about it. Even advertisement, why do you think all the publicity is always paying so much for the shows that they have the most people to watch, right? Because they want to influence the most people. So that is really true. As a kid, I played a lot with my dogs. I had a little white rabbit when I was a kid, and a turtle. I mean, it was like a zoo. But I was close with those animals, and then my brothers, but really not, you know, not that much culture, because really we were not that educated. Even the professors in school, it was, you know, after a lot of dictatorship. It was still under Suharto dictatorship. The education was not that high at all, because I think they didn't want people to be too smart, you know. So we had to learn ourselves, but it's amazing, because once I watched these amazing movies, American movies from Hollywood, and see that, you know, it's a classic story, beginning, middle, ending. And American movies is always happy ending for some reason. That's their culture, right? And so in my mind, it's like, oh, life is gonna be good, and it's okay to really work so hard and start speaking English. And then I learned French and German, and then I just started to see like all these stories from these languages, the books that they have completely different from anything I've seen in school, right? Yeah. So that's when I just...
I mean, it's like right now you live in Los Angeles, and I mean, so how is it now? I mean, Los Angeles, Jakarta, I mean, it's like, How comes that you live now in Los Angeles? Like, is that what you manifested actually? Like, you were there where you wanted always to be? So how is it right now?
I'm sure. When looking back, you know, it's like such a short life, but at the same time, so I learned all these languages, and I ended up working when I was a teenager as a journalist translator, and understood that there are so many worlds outside this world to discover. And of course, my parents had no resources at the time to really educate us higher than anything in Indonesia. But because of my connection with this journalist team, when there was a local war in Jakarta, they were able to take me out from that place because it was so dangerous at the time for a teenager woman. And then I had to go to Hong Kong, and I didn't know what to do. So they said, but you said you're good at doing art. Why don't you, paint or something? And I was like, okay. When I left, my dad was like, never become an artist, you're gonna starve to death.
Yeah, okay, but you became an artist.
Okay, but that's the only thing you inherit me, so what can I do?
So, but do you have sometimes like bad feelings that you left your family in Indonesia? And
actually,
I mean, it's like, or do you have to? Are you supporting them? Like, because I mean, you made it now for them. I mean, do you have to send money, or are you supporting them financially too?
I think at the beginning it was. To the short answer, sometimes, not always, but I used to have to support myself, and it was already really hard just because they couldn't. So once I sold all those paintings, I was able to go to France and started the Beaux-Arts school, and then Beaux-Arts is for the art, and then at the same time they accepted me in the architecture.
It was 2001, although you were in France?
In France, I was 1998 already.
And then you started architect, and then from there everything started then. Yeah,
I was graduated making a story thesis about New York and its urban design, and I wanted to suggest a project, but it was so hard to express in literal French, so I had to make a little short documentary, and I was just in love with the way we could express our mind, and that's when I fell in love with filmmaking, and I decided to go to New York Film Academy because it was just there and waiting for me.
And you made a film?
I made 4 short films, and the 3 were submitted to the Cannes Film Festival.
Ella and the Moon, something like that.
And it was selected to be screened in Cannes Festivals. It was great in 2007, 2008, and 2009.
Wow, congratulations.
And thank you.
So as a child, did you always dream about the universe, or how was it?
Yeah, actually, there is a little part of Ella and the Moon, that movie, where that's what I was wondering. I would escape to the rooftop of my house because I couldn't go anywhere. And I would look up the night sky, and I just felt like, wow, this is my mother nature. I already felt like that. Even I was probably 5 years old. And I just thought there's so much in this universe to explore. And I already have that feeling that I'm like, hey, I'm having so many friends, all these stars are talking to me, and they want me to travel and explore the farthest.
So how can people understand what is it to be a Mars architect? I mean, are you working on something right now, or who do you work with?
Yeah, thank you. The story was, once I finished my architecture school, I became a filmmaker, so that's why I went to Los Angeles. And over there, I met so many scientists working in the space industry. And I just thought, wow, what an opportunity that there is not yet any artist or architect that I know working in merging the two worlds so that we can invite more people to be more, to make space more accessible, to make science more accessible to the people who have no science degree, or and I just thought, but it's so hard for me because as an artist, as a young woman, Asian woman in all these very masculine world. I mean, space was designated to be, national security. So it's like military world that very few women were there. They
Enter
were
the door.
absolutely amazing. But there is no way I could find a spot for me. Basically, that's my thought. And so I said, well, I have to create that spot for me. So that's how I came up with the company I have built called Mars City Design. And I really want to create the blueprint for the destinations that people could envision to be in the next 3-4 generations on a different planet. And for that, we collaborate with all the space industries. The first 5 years, we somehow have collaboration with NASA. For example, the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston exhibited some of our artworks and also the blueprints that we made for the past 4 years. And then we have also Discovery Channel, Space Channel, who then got excited as media partners to exhibit what we have been doing. And then, of course, a lot of universities. So I'm a professor at Loyola Marymount University, teaching the Mars Systems Engineering. And it's really interesting because all these young people, I mean, they're not that young, they're younger. They just really, futuristic, but at the same time, it's now. All the technology is there. We're ready to go. It's just a matter of
time.
who is coming in, you know, and the people who have been in a lot of companies who never think about going to space. They come to us and say, hey, can you convert our product into something that astronauts would consume? Or it becomes, the new next brand, futuristic brand.
So are you right now working on something, building like a Mars place? Or?
Yes, so we have a prototype experiment to be built in California. It's a desert that kind of look like Mars. And when you take the soil, you can tell that it's very ironized, so it's red like Mars. And we want to experiment some machines like 3D printing, a lot of different technologies for producing sustainable energy, for example, clean hydrogen fuel. All of that, when you put it together, it's just like this small town that could be the next first base on Mars.
But this is something very exciting because this is like too big for people thinking brain or something. It's like, wow, it's like a movie when you sit here. It's like, it seems before everything was so far away, and when you talk about it, it seems like we are already living with aliens, so it's like we need to get ready to live with aliens, that's how I feel in the moment, so yes.
Yeah,
so beautiful to talk to you, because I really feel talking to you like I come from another galaxy, it's like I feel like I am from another planet. So how is it for you? Do you believe in God?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Just this morning, by coincidence, I was looking at this quote. I don't remember, of course, if I paraphrase it. He said, I think in the 19th century, he said, all of us is a universe. We're just experiencing the human experience.
the human body.
Yeah.
Or wow, that's very beautiful.
And so we are part of all of these stars and planets, and we're just having this. So if I believed in God, if people call it that higher power God, yes, I believe that there is intelligence that governs this entire system that is called life, and the Mother Earth itself is a life, is a living being that, you know, adjusts itself, adapt, breathe, and expels. You know, Mother Nature knows where to clean stuff, you know, or people.
Yeah. No, it's so
right?
interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting because I mean, it's like I researched, like there is a movement right now in Los Angeles with many gurus, like people, there are some people that come from the space, they are saying they're aliens, then everybody's a healer, and I mean, because Los Angeles is Hollywood, you know,
Right.
So how did you experience that? That would be so nice to know about it.
Very spiritual, but at the same time, those are the kind of spiritual world that I'm so sorry, unfortunately, I avoid, because there is a lot of business behind it as well. The spiritual movement I have been, you know, practicing is called Nichiren Buddhism from Soka Gakkai, that taught us to really self-reflect and become interdependent. So you can first help yourself, like in a plane, you know, when there is turbulence, you want to help yourself first and then help the others.
So how you do that? I mean, it's like there's
so
is that a special way how you do it, or?
Yeah, it's like once you practice that, you no longer need to look to 10,000 different direction of all these other spirituality that for me it really doesn't make any sense. Because they teach you to see the outside and go to the mountain and isolate yourself, but when you come back, the problems are still there, you know, because it comes with you. So you have to solve it from the inside. And the practice is chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. In the morning I would chant an hour. It's like washing my spirit, you know. It's like before you go out of your house, you take a shower and clean yourself, because then you don't feel comfortable otherwise outside, because you stink, right? So spiritually, I would clean myself before I go out. And then at night, you come back home before you go to sleep, you chant again. It's like washing everything that you have experienced into pure joy and gratitude.
So that's mean like to stay positive as a person, that's like something you got to work every day on it, I think. So what do you do? That you do this chanting. That's like your medicine. That's how you stay positive all the time.
I breathe every day, and you know, not just thinking about the goals and problems, challenges. It's really growing through your own human experience. Every day you're a new person, and you embrace others that is mirroring your life.
Okay, so that means everybody you meet in your life is mirroring your life.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Absolutely.
Vera, thank you so much for being here from Mars.
You.
You flew extra from Mars just to come to see Soulmary Real Talk. Thank you so much. But Vera, I have one question. I mean, as a woman from Mars, if you have 3 wishes, which kind of 3 wishes will be?
No, the first would be that I would have an art exhibition in Zurich, maybe. Not maybe. You
will have.
Second is an exhibition on Mars.
Wow, I want to be there. I will reserve already a ticket, and I need a plan also.
You'll have a Mars passport coming with that.
Oh, that's good. I'm in already. I'm already checked in. Soulmary will be next hosted in the Mars, people. Know that. So Vera, the one is missing.
Okay, third one would be that my dad and my mom would understand what I'm living right now. And
I think they really understand what are you living now. Vera, thank you so much for being to my show, and it was really a pleasure for me to have you here.
Absolutely.
And I hope we see each other next time in Los Angeles
yes, please.
or in Mars. I will definitely come for a coffee. Thank you so much for checking into Soulmary Real Talk, and bye with Vera Mars.
You want a real